here today to relax and go for a walk. Just enjoy being outside and practice the bushcraft. I've got some really tasty marinated crocodile in the pack, and thought it would be a good opportunity to compare different types of saws, types of pocket saws. The two types I want to compare are these little wire Commando saws, which are notorious for breaking easily, which in itself is probably reason enough to steer clear of them. But I just want to show the performance difference between that and a pocket chainsaw, which is basically a length of chainsaw chain with toggles on the end, bits to hold onto it so you can saw with it. Now, I'm not so much comparing different makes of these two saws, because, well, these are just, the cheap ones I could get. I think this one is made by, or at least distributed by, Outback Australia. I don't know, I'd have to check. And I do believe that the wire saw is by Bush Tracks, so, they're not top of the line, they're not fancy. But you know what, if I wanted a really top of the line one of these, I'd make it myself. I'd go out and get a high quality chainsaw chain and attach toggles to it. But that's if you want something really high end. I'm just, doing a bit of comparative testing to show the difference in concept. Well, that's enough talking, I may as well get into it. I found this lovely piece of pine in the only pine stand I know of within 100 kilometers of me that's, not on someone's private property. But it's fallen over, it's on an angle, and well, that should hopefully mean that it's dry. So, from what I'm thinking, this should be ideal, especially considering that I'm using a little saw like this as well. I wouldn't really want to be doing this on an iron bark or something a bit stronger. Let's get into it. Now, to be honest, my preference is for these pocket chainsaws, for the simple reason that, well, I think they're a bit more durable. But that would come down to who makes it. How far are we getting in? And more importantly, the teeth on this thing are far bigger than that little one. Honestly, a tomahawk would be better. Unless tomahawk would be easier for me to sharpen once it gets blunt. And, these kinds of little saws aren't the kind of thing I would take too often on a day trip. And to be honest, if you were cross-cutting a lot of wood and you knew you were going to be, I don't think you would pack a pocket chainsaw or a wire saw. I reckon you'd be better off with a proper tomahawk. You know, I'm just out here to test them. That and, you know, give me a flat surface for the Swedish fire steel. Right, we're about 3/4 of an inch through. I wonder. You would be a fool to saw the whole way through it. Especially when you could just snap it like that. Right, so on to the next one. On to the wire saw. I'm thinking there's a potential that I might have just been using really dodgy ones. See, this wire saw has got more aggressive teeth than any other wire saw I've ever used, and it's making a noticeable difference. These small handholds, these little rings, aren't too good for your fingers. I would much rather it with the, you know, I would much rather it with the handholds that I've got on my pocket chainsaw. But because the teeth are so small, it's like not wearing me out. The pocket chainsaw takes much bigger chunks out while you're sawing. taking noticeably longer with the wire saw. And I am out of practice with aiming with a knife. Or it could just be the fact that I'm not used to an RTAC 2. Or the fact that the wood I'm cutting is on such a strange angle. I would actually have to say that cross-cutting with this RTAC 2 probably, well not probably, definitely a lot faster than using even the pocket chainsaw. I mean, it's removing way more material for the amount of time and is taking up a lot less energy. So much easier. So I would have to say cross-cutting with a pocket chainsaw seems, at least at this point, to be easier and more effective than using one of those little wire saws. Although, to be honest, using a big knife is probably easier than both. Although, yeah, that's an RTAC 2. Maybe not as effective with a smaller knife, but you know. Guess it depends on what kind of a kit you're putting together. I mean, if you need something super compact, a really big knife or an axe, this ain't gonna fit. You know what? If you can afford the weight in the room, might as well look into a bigger tool, be it a large knife, an axe, or a proper saw. Yeah. Just thought I'd do a little bit of testing. See,